The special event called A Colossal Discovery is happening this Saturday, and I'm going to be talking about how you could prepare for this event. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so we don't have a lot of information regarding this event, but we still should talk about how you could prepare for it. I'm sure a lot of information will be data mined a couple days before the event starts, but in any case, yeah, there's still a couple of steps that you can take in order to prepare for this event. So if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell as well. And real quick, I want to push my Patreon page. A link to it is in the description below. Definitely go and check it out if you want some nice perks, if you want to support this channel financially. Every little bit helps, and a big shout out to my patrons. So with that all out of the way, let's get right into it. Let's talk about A Colossal Discovery. Of course, this will be our chance to encounter Regigigas before it becomes an EX raid boss. So if you want this Pokemon before anyone else, this is definitely something worth investing in. But if you do not want to spend the money on this event, then you necessarily do not have to. So that's something that's really nice. Regigigas will be in EX raids after this event. It's not going to have different moves. It's not going to have different IVs or CP. Consider this event as more of like a pre-release. So do not feel like you're going to miss out if you do not participate in this event. That's something that's really important. I actually really applaud Niantic for making that decision, mainly because I think for a lot of different games out there, Pokemon Masters, I'm looking at you. If you do not participate in certain events, if you do not participate in certain time limited things, well, you're gonna miss out on something, and the chances of you getting that particular thing is going to be really difficult later on. A lot of game developers use FOMO to their advantage, but it looks like Pokemon Go is not going to do that with this event. So don't you worry, if you decide not to participate in this event, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be able to still get your Regigigases later on, but there's a lot of other things going on with this event that is definitely worth mentioning. Now, I'm really hoping this is not the case, but we are getting the Regi Trio back with this event, and of course they are releasing the shiny forms of these big bosses as well. But I'm really hoping that the special research doesn't involve raiding, but you could probably predict that it will, considering that they're putting a lot of emphasis on the Regi Trio. So in terms of the Regi Trio, you should really invest in a lot of Machamps. The nice thing about all three of these Pokemon is that they have a lot of crossover weaknesses with fighting types. And the nice thing is, we just had Darkrai released into Pokemon Go, so you should have a lot of your teams set up, because of course Darkrai is also weak against fighting types, and fighting types are also really strong against all three of the Regi Trio. So what that means is that if your Darkrai team consisted of 6 Machamps, then you don't have to switch up anything. You will still have a viable team for all three of the Regi Trio. That's something that you should really consider. But again, we don't know up until we get closer to the event whether or not raiding will be a requirement for getting Regigigas, but just be prepared just in case. Make sure you're going out and talking with your community, setting up a couple of raid groups, and making sure you are ready to do some raids, because of course the nice thing about this event is that we will be getting 10 free raid passes along with it. But of course this works a lot like the raid days where we get bonus passes during those days. You only get one daily free raid pass 10 times as opposed to getting 10 premium raid passes. So if you want to utilize this event to the fullest, you will need to raid at least 10 times. That seems to indicate to me that there will be a raiding requirement with this event, but I'm really hoping it's not the case. It's definitely going to be something that's detrimental for rural players. I've talked to a lot of rural players after this event was announced, and a lot of them are really unhappy at the idea of being required to raid, considering how difficult it already is. But we'll have to see what happens. I'm actually wondering if if this is going to be like a full day raid day, like if every gym is going to have a legendary raid, I think that would be very helpful. Or if the special research is something like raid any of the Regi trio. But regardless, just have your teams ready and have your group ready as well. There probably will be some raiding involved. Now, I think what's important is that you should treat this event just like any other community day. So whatever park or whatever high populated area that you go to for community days, I think that's a good place to start once this event starts. Of course, we could get a lot more information as we move closer, but I really think that is the safest bet, considering that part of this special research may involve a lot of catching, and we're going to get a lot of special spawns as well as the Skarmory new shiny that's going to be released in conjunction with this event. So it could be like a mini community day. We've seen this before with cast form, like they want to boost this event up with a new shiny, and of course that could be one of the big key factors about how enjoyable this event will be. So make sure you treat it like a community day, consider it like a Skarmory community day of sorts. So make sure you go out to wherever you go typically for a community day and start the event there. I think that's going to be the most helpful. And just like I mentioned before, make sure you talk with your community. I think the best thing you could do for this event is to set up a carpool just in case there's some raiding involved. I really think you're going to get the most out of this event if you connect yourself with a group and actually play together as a group. I found this to be particularly useful when it came to the Pokemon Go Fest special research for Jirachi and for Celebi, so I really think this is something that you should do as well. And also, the faster you knock out these special research, the faster you get Regigigas, the more you can enjoy the rest of the event. That's something to keep in mind. I'm hoping I could finish this event out in about 2 hours, so that way I could spend the rest of the day just enjoying the bonuses like the spawns and the shinies and different things like that. That's what I'm really hoping to do, but who knows? I really think it's going to be a solid event. Now, from everything that I'm hearing from Niantic, from people who are in the know with Niantic, they are treating this as kind of like a worldwide mini Pokemon Go Fest. So when it comes to these spawns, when it comes to a lot of the cool mechanics that you typically would see with Pokemon Go Fest, I think there's going to be a lot of overlap with that with this event. So do keep that in mind when you jump into this event, that there's going to be a lot of special spawns. A lot of these special research tasks are going to involve capturing these specific spawns, and it's going to be thematic. Like there's going to be a storyline attributed to it, and it's just going to be a lot of catching and a lot of the basic mechanics. So make sure you're stocked up on Pokeballs, make sure you're stocked up on Ultra Balls, because again, the faster you complete this special research, like if there is a requirement that requires you to catch 100 rock types, for example, you want to get that done as soon as possible so that you can just enjoy the rest of the day more freely. I'm honestly really looking forward to this event. I think Niantic is not getting enough credit for this event. I know there's a lot of people who are worried, especially rural players, but I do trust Niantic. I think they've been kind of on the up and up lately, so hopefully they have considered a lot of the little things and really create a special event. Now, I've said this before in past videos, but if they knock this one out of the park, future events just like this one are going to be a lot more accepted and they're going to be a lot better. So hopefully Niantic does us right with this event. I'm really hoping that they don't have a rating requirement in order to get Regigigas, but more than likely they will, so do keep that in mind. I really think the best thing you can do is just gather up with a couple of friends and just commit to just completing this special research together, even knocking out those 10 raids as well. Mainly because the nice thing about the Regi trio is that you do not need that many players in order to beat them, and of course, like I said, you only need a bunch of fighting types to really destroy them. Of course, you could use other types as well to really maximize your damage, like Kyogres against Regirock or Moltres against Registeel, different things like that. But at the same time, I really think all you really need is just a bunch of Machamps, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, let me know your thoughts regarding this event down in the comment section below. How are you preparing for this event? And like I said, we will get more information as we get closer to this event, so some of the information that I share in this video may be arbitrary, but you know, in any case, yeah, it's best to go in as prepared as you possibly possibly can. Treat this like as if it's gonna be like a mini Pokemon Go Fest with possibly some raiding involved. So definitely communicate with your friends. Like I said, just go to wherever you typically go for a community day, and yeah, go out and have fun with this event. So I definitely hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Definitely share it with your friends. Hopefully you'll have a lot of fun this Saturday, and yeah, I am Count Jinsula, and I'll catch you all later. Hey guys, before I leave, I have to give a little bit of a spiel. I mean, when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, it's extremely difficult to gauge how successful you can be on YouTube. Like, there are some times where I have a ton of views on my videos, and there are some days where I just have no views on my videos, and it really comes down to the YouTube algorithm. And there's a lot of times where I get dinged for some of the songs that I pick or some of the footage that I show, and unfortunately it's because YouTube's copyright system is a little bit broken. But if you want to support this channel financially, I highly suggest you check out my Patreon. A link to it is in the description below. Your support definitely helps me out, and it helps support this channel because I would love to crank out more videos and increase the quality, and for that to happen, I do need your help. So definitely go and check out that link. And yeah, big shout out and big thank you to all of you for supporting my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell as well. Check out the links in the description below. I am Count Jinsula, and I'll catch you all later.